how do we feel about the makeup today? Do we love it? I absolutely love it. It's fall themed, it's warm, it's beautiful, which leads me into the point of my video today. We're gonna be talking about fall themed eyeshadow palettes. I love fall, it's my favorite time of the year. I cannot wait to show you guys these palettes. The point of this video is to kind of go through and show you guys which palettes in my collection I deem fall palettes. I do have an explanation behind why I chose each of these. I just wanted to show you guys, maybe you have some of these in your collection and you know, you don't have to go spend coin on new palettes. So yeah, I'm going to jump right on in. I've got high-end, I've got affordable. I cannot wait to show you guys these strong. This is one of my favorite palettes of all time. It's from Revolution. It's their Haunted House palette. This was available so many years ago. I think I literally got the last one online because as soon as I got it, they like took it off the website completely. This is what it looks like. It's got beautiful warm tones. It's got a few pops of color in there. It's got the black, it's got the grays, it's got shimmers, metallics, mattes, anything you could possibly want. This has been a go-to of mine for so many years now. I know it's old, but I'm not going to stop using it because not only do I love the palette itself, but the packaging is just a work of art. These Revolution Forever Flawless palettes, I think they are. The stickers worn off of here, it's so old. But these little tin palettes are my favorites. I have a couple from Too Faced. This one actually came in a Christmas set. It's the gingerbread palette, but hear me out. I actually think it's more fall themed than winter themed. Just look at these dark, warm tones. It even comes with the bronzer. This is a beautiful palette if you're looking for something a bit more on the neutral side, but with a few pops of warm color in here. I use this palette all the time. It's an absolute go-to of mine for fall and winter time. Anytime I'm just looking for like a good neutral palette, this is one that I reach for because I know it's good quality. It is a staple. And the next one I have from Too Faced is the Pumpkin Spice palette. This is the one that came out a few years ago, and you know what? I thought this was different from the other palettes. They were doing like the gingerbread palettes, you know? It has these beautiful neutral tones in here that are a bit warm. But you know, when I think of fall, not only do I think of the oranges, the warm tones, I also think of like a sage green. Maybe it's the changing of the leaves, you know, but I really love these greens that they have in here, and even these fun pops of purples. I think it's also gorgeous. If you have this, I hope you love it as much as I do because I still use this all the time during fall season. Needed water break before I move on to the next couple. I made like an orange limeade water because yeah, I'm on that whole water talk train and you cannot stop me. My next couple I have are from ColourPop. So I collect ColourPop palettes. It's actually kind of ridiculous. A lot of the times if it's a collab I like, I'm getting the palette. Even if I don't really care for the colors that much, or if I know I have those colors 20 times over, I'm still getting it. That being said, this was the first Hocus Pocus palette that they did 3 years ago, I think. So it's got the little cartoon artwork on the inside, but this is the palette itself. And when I tell you, this might be my favorite of the bunch. I love this color story. Again, not only does it have the nice neutrals, the pops of warm, it's got purples in there, but it's also got those greens I was talking about. I don't know what it is about these greens that I love so much for fall time, but I also love a good burgundy. This one's, as you can tell, my favorite shade in here. I love it so, so much. I love that you get those diamond shades in here. Those are super unique. I actually really do love the glitter in here as well. I love this palette. My other ColourPop one, I was talking about the greens, is The Child from ColourPop. Yeah, not only do you get the greens, but you do get a few pops of nude in there too. You get a beautiful Super Shock. It reminds me of sunlight hitting the face, like that beautiful golden reflect to it. It's absolutely stunning. Yeah, you get the beautiful sage greens in here. You get a really cool duochromy gold, green to bronzy. It's just absolutely beautiful. I'm so happy they came back out with this palette for a little while, but I don't know if they still have it. Definitely don't have the new Hocus Pocus, or the old Hocus Pocus one, but actually I'm gonna go through and tell you guys which palettes you can still get. I don't think you can get these two, unfortunately, or the gingerbread from Too Faced, or the pumpkin spice from Too Faced. A lot of these palettes you can't get anymore. I don't think you can get any of the ones I've shown you, which again, the point of this video is to show you palettes that you might already have, or some of them that are new. So unfortunately, some of these you won't be able to get your hands on, and I'm so sorry, but if you already have them in your collection, girl, you've got a winner. So this one is one that I don't think you can get anymore. It's from Morphe. It's the Madison Beer Channel Surfing palette. Can you see a theme? Neutrals, warm neutrals with these pops of beautiful green toned colors. But this one also has a few like mauve-y tones in here that I really think are unique. It's got some beautiful kind of just champagne-y colors. It's got the black, it's got the cream white. I really just smacked myself in the face with that, but it's just got beautiful colors in it. I still reach for this palette all the time. Specifically, I really love this color right here, and I really love that copper shade up top. Yeah, this is a go-to of mine. This is probably my top 2 favorite Morphe palettes. This is one that I don't use as much, but I think it's a beautiful fall palette all the same. Again, you cannot get this one unless you know, look on Poshmark or Mercari or somewhere for these. I don't think you can get it anymore. It's the Tarte Maneater After Dark palette. Again, I'm sorry, but my point of this was to show you mainly some stuff that you probably already have in your collection if you're a makeup hoarder like I am. So this is what it looks like. It's just got beautiful, like I've always said when I look at this palette, it reminds me of Jungle. I think it's the greens and the, the beautiful warm tones and the golds that you get in here. But to me, this is just a stunning fall time palette. You got these really interesting kind of mustard orangey tones as well, which I think is absolutely beautiful. Some lovely pink tones. You get the greens, you get the warm neutrals, and you also have a black in here, which is absolutely beautiful. This next palette, I know is going to be a bit controversial, and I'm sorry for that, but I do use it all the time. I do think it's a good warm toned fall palette, and I'm not sorry, okay? I'm not going to say the name of it. You can read, but yeah, it's from Jeffree Star. You can say what you want, okay? He's not the best person, but his makeup is one of the top 3 brands for me because everything performance-wise, consistent. So this is that palette. It's all matte, and yeah, I think it screams fall. It's got a lot of variety if you want more neutral tones, if you want the warm tones. It's got cool tones. To me, it screams fall. I think it's a beautiful palette. I use it all the time. I really use this palette when I'm looking to use like a single shadow, and then I'll reach into here to play with some mattes. It's gorgeous. These are some of the best mattes I've used. I wasn't really looking forward to it when I got it because I thought it was pretty boring. My mom got it for me when he had a sale, I think. I'm like, why? She's like, well, because you don't have it yet. And when I played with it, it completely changed my mind. I'm like, yeah, this is worth the money. You know, if you can get it on sale, it's when I recommend getting it. I do believe it's still available. This next one, though, was a Revolution Friends palette. I do know Revolution keeps a lot of their limited edition stuff in stock online, so you might be able to find this one still. It's the, it doesn't have a name, but I'm assuming it's just the Friends collab because it does say Friends X Revolution on the front of it. But it's the turkey-based palette. This is a Thanksgiving-themed palette. You cannot look at that and just tell me that does not scream fall, because it does. It's got the beautiful oranges, it's got the gold, it's got the bronzies, it's got a couple like pinky tones, but you still get like quite a few cool tone shades in here if that is your jam. So I really love this palette. Found it at TJ Maxx, so if you're interested, definitely run there and look for it. My Marshalls and TJ Maxx always stay stocked up on Revolution, including the limited edition things. Like I just got this 2 weeks ago maybe, so I think it's great that they stay stocked up on stuff like that because I love the limited edition things, but sometimes I just can't find them in store when they come out, and I don't like buying from Revolution's website because I've had quite a few things break when I've ordered them from there. So I was really happy to find that. It is such a gorgeous palette. To SheGlam, it's Shein's makeup line. The good thing about this is I do believe they just re-released this Corpse Bride collection. Now, I got this when it first came out, so it is a bit old. Maybe not even a year yet, I don't think, which is a good thing. So yes, it's got this beautiful lace packaging on here. It does have a mirror, but these are the colors, so hear me out. There are 2 holidays in fall. Okay, 2 major American holidays in fall. Halloween and Thanksgiving, okay? During Halloween, I don't know about you guys, but I really love a good smoky eye, a good cool tone look. And to me, this was just perfect. I don't think it was wrong of me to include smoky tones in here. Like when I think of fall, I think of nice warm tones, but it's, if Halloween time is your thing like me and you love spooky, then I think you will love this. If you're a Corpse Bride fan like I am, I'm a Tim Burton fan in general, like his movies, his animated ones are so good. Yeah, this is it for me. I absolutely love it. The only thing I have to say bad about it, and it's bad but like not bad, why did they have to do that to me? I do not want to mess the black up, so literally if I reach for it, I have to use the teeniest tiny brush to get like along the outside of it, because I refuse to mess up the little embossment on there. Like, it's just too pretty. But like, let me swatch a few of these for you guys. So I'm gonna swatch the white because these are just absolutely gorgeous, and then I'll swatch the other one up top, and I'll swatch the silver at the bottom, just so you guys can see like the quality of these. Where'd that one go? That one didn't swatch very well. That middle one swatched like poo. Did I barely grab any or something? So okay, so the top two, I'm just not noticing this. I usually pick these up with a brush. See, there it is better. They're like Super Shock formulas, the top two, so the white and then that one that I had a bit of trouble picking up. They're like Super Shocks from ColourPop. It's like a putty formula. And I usually pick them up with a fluffy brush. Definitely pick them up with your finger and go a little ham if you want to swatch them or if you use it with your finger. Absolutely gorgeous. I love the shimmer. This palette is so affordable and the quality is actually really, really good. So I highly recommend that palette. So hear me out. The next one, I'm kind of using the same logic as Halloween's coming up. Let me move you guys a little bit. Okay, yeah, that way I can kind of show them right here. So Halloween's coming up in fall, right? Halloween stuff's starting to be out in the stores already, so that's another reason, you know, I'm like, hey, y'all might want a good Halloween palette. That's during the fall time. So the next two are from Glamlite. This is the Crazy in Love Chucky collab. Who's excited for the Scream collab? I know I am. I wasn't at first because they kind of started to advertise it as more of a goth collection. I'm not a goth, so I kind of lost my interest, but then they posted sneak peeks on Instagram, and I'm like, those shadows are bussin'. So I do think I'll be picking it up. I start work at the beginning of September, so yeah, I'll be spending my money, I think. But this is the inside of the Chucky palette. I just dipped my finger into the black. I've only used this 3 times, but still it's amazing. I like it because, again, I think that black is just meant to get destroyed by my finger. Okay. Not only do you get the black smoky tones in here, you also get these beautiful reds, you get these beautiful purple tones. It's super unique. I don't have another palette like this quite in my collection. The closest ones I would say are like it are my Jeffree Star Weirdo palette, my Revolution Strange and Unusual palette, and my Melt Cosmetics Beetlejuice palette, the red and black one. But still, nothing in any of those has the gray tones, the red tones, and the purple tones, you know, so it's like they're all missing at least one of those. And this is just super good. I also like the array of formulas you get in here. So you get these little diamond shades, you get mattes, you get shimmers, you get these beautiful metallics as well. And I don't know what it is about these burgundies. Again, I absolutely love them. These two just remind me of, like, I don't know how to explain it, not blood, but like a beautiful dusk sunset, you know, like you get that beautiful deep red in there. It's honestly like new moon twilight vibes kind of, and I honestly love that. It's gorgeous. My other palette from Glamlite is from the Happy Hour collection. It's the Chocolate Martini palette. Now we're getting back into the more warm, neutral tones of things. I like this because you get the warm tones. You get the fun pops of color, like this blue, shifty purple here. The mauve tones, you have a beautiful orange. You've got a few more bronzy shades in here. That's beautiful. You get a little pink. You also get this white to gold shifty shade up here. It's very pretty. Yeah, this one is definitely one of the ones I was kind of on the fence about, like, do I include it? But it does have the warm tones in here, and I think this is absolutely a beautiful fall palette. I do highly recommend it. Also, if you're just looking for a good neutral palette, I really do love this one. Glamlite's one of those brands, kind of like Revolution, where even though it says limited edition, I feel like they keep a lot of their stuff in forever. The Chucky collection is kind of hard to get your hands on because they do kind of sell out of it quick. But yeah, everything else I feel like they do keep in stock, which is a wonderful thing for people who aren't able to get their hands on it right away. So if you're interested, there's that. My next 3 palettes are from ABH. Now, I'm very biased when it comes to ABH. They're one of my favorite brands as far as eyeshadow goes. I think that they're very consistent. I definitely love the smaller palettes. Like, I prefer them to the Norvina Pro palettes. Also, is it still ABH? Because I feel like they changed their Instagram name to Norvina Cosmetics. Like, what are we now? It's a big change if it's a change, if they did really do that. But yeah, I've got 3 here from ABH. So the first one is an oldie, but a goodie. I still use it. It's the Soft Glam palette. I do believe this one's still available. If it's not, please feel free to correct me, but I do feel like you can still get your hands on this. Yeah, it's got these beautiful warm tones. Again, it's got the bronzies, it's got the golds, it's got the nice black in there. But also, if you want a more soft glam, it's got like the really beautiful pink shades in here. You know, you can definitely keep it light. I like to go more bold with it though. I like to use the, you know, more bronzy shades in here, specifically these 4 on the outer corner. You know, that's just more of my vibe, but I really do love this palette. It's an OG, and I don't think my collection would be the same without it because I do reach for it all the time. The next one is the Nuvo. This is one of their last palettes that they made. Maybe like last 4, because I feel like they just came out with Cosmos, and then Rose Metals, and then maybe Primrose. I don't own that one, but this one was before Primrose, so last couple years. It's one of the newer ones, Nuvo. It's beautiful. Again, I mainly picked this one because of the greens. It's got these beautiful like olivey / sage tones in here, and I think it's really special. The only thing I wouldn't say is necessarily fall about it is the purple. Like, I feel like if you take it away, it is a beautiful palette. I don't use the purple. I feel like it's very odd for them to throw it in. I think all the tutorials I saw, I don't think I ever saw anybody use the purple. When I look at them, I'm just like, yeah, to me, it doesn't fit. But hey, if you have the palette and you use the purple, wonderful. I'm glad somebody gets use out of it because I think I might have just swatched it and that's it. It is a beautiful purple, but it just doesn't fit the palette overall to me. Everything else though, I would definitely say it screams fall. It's those beautiful sage tones for me that I personally love during the fall time. And I love the packaging. To me, the packaging doesn't really feel like it, but like it just looks like a sweater. And it makes me excited to wear sweaters. So I'm like, you know what? Fall, yes. That's one of the ones I had to get a second opinion on. I'm like, does this look fall to you or am I absolutely nuts? So the last one is the one I'm wearing on my eyes today. Absolutely love this palette. It's the Rose Metals. This was the one that really made me want to do it because I looked at this palette and I'm like, oh, I need to use that again. But I'm like, ooh, it screams fall. I could do a fall themed eyeshadow collection video, and yeah, she's the one that made it happen. To me, out of all of them, this is the most fall one. You can still get your hands on Nuvo and Rose Metals, by the way. So I want to let you guys know that, yeah, everything about it screams fall. There's not a single shade in here that I look at and I'm like, nope, doesn't look like fall to me. The whole palette itself is just... ABH shadows are pricey. They are truly a luxury brand, I feel like. It is a splurge, but it is a good splurge. Like, you are getting some of the best quality eyeshadows. And the Cosmos palette, I'm going to be doing like a big end of the year ranking of all the palettes I've tried this year. That one's probably going to be top 3 because it's going to be hard to beat that. I love the Cosmos palette so much. If you missed it, I do have a 3 looks 1 video palette, I think, using that one, or 5 looks 1 palette. I'm pretty sure it's just 3 though. But yeah, feel free to go check it out. It's down there somewhere. This is the Melt Mary Jane palette. This is another one I had to get a second opinion on because I just wasn't so sure. Because everything else I've used, I feel like, or like I've put in here, has been very warm and just stunning greens or orange tones. So I wanted to add this because I do feel like it's got a few of those beautiful cool tones in here that are very wearable, yet it's got a few that look like they might pull slightly green. It's grungy, I guess is what I'm trying to say. When I think of fall, sometimes I like grungy palettes, so I wanted to add this one as well. I will say the mattes, they can be a bit hard to work with. Sometimes I find, depending on what primer I use, I think that, yeah, they're a little difficult to work with. But, you know, if you take the time and you just blend and work with them, they will. You know, if you're in a rush, don't use it. But if you have time and you like smoky tones, I think you'll love this one. Because I do, and if you have it and you love it, please let me know. I see so many people get that palette so much hate. It honestly makes me sad because I'm like, no, it's a really good palette. I'll swatch a few of the shimmers for you guys for funsies. So I will swatch this shade right here because it's one of my favorites. They are a bit crumbly though, that's all I'll say. And then I'll swatch this one over here and the one beside it. Look at that. They're very full coverage, super pigmented. Like, yeah, it doesn't take a lot at all. I'm wiping these on my pajama pants, by the way, and no shame. The mattes, however, like I said, I find that depending on what primer I use, they can be a bit rough on the blending part of it, but sometimes that happens. The last palette I have for you guys, are you ready? I don't know if you can still get your hands on it. I do know that I just got it for Christmas this past year, so it is relatively new to my collection. It's from One Size. It's my only One Size palette I own. It is the Disney Fantasia book. Now, the good thing about it is when my grandpa got it for me for Christmas, I think it was on sale. And I honestly think it screams fall. You know, my mom also has it. She's like, I can't figure out what I want to do with that palette because she just doesn't get use out of it. Me, on the other hand, I love everything about it. I love these two shades up here for like toppers. One's more of a pure white and then one's more of a white with like a blue base to it. I love these three right here for like that on the outer corner, that to blend it out on my crease, and then that on the lid. It's just so beautiful. And then I love all the blushes down here, like just mixing them to create custom shades. I love it for fall time. It's easy to use. Like, and it's really opposite of what I like, because normally I like big palettes with a lot of variety so I can have multiple choices. This kind of just breaks it down easy for you, and oddly enough, I really like that. So please let me know if you guys enjoyed the video. My next one I plan to do is my favorite neutral palettes, and we can even make it a series if you want. I can do my favorite colorful palettes, my favorite pink-based palettes, you know, whatever you guys want to see. And then when winter comes up, we'll do my favorite palettes to use in the winter time. You know, I am going to start work soon, so I might not be posting as much. You might catch me more on TikTok now, and that's okay. I feel like most of the time I post more on here because it's long form content, speak Alyssa, and that's what I prefer more. But you know, if I need to be in a rush and film some stuff, it will be on TikTok. I do still plan to upload here. I will not ghost you guys. I love you guys. YouTube is my favorite place to be. But yes, I'm starting a job soon and we'll be working in a long-term care facility, and I'm very nervous but also very excited. I'm finally going to be adulting and I don't really know how to feel about that yet, but I'll keep you guys updated. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. It was a long one and I'm sorry. I had quite a bit more palettes than I expected I would. And if you guys want to see more fall makeup, like what bronzers do I suggest, what blushes do I like, what hair crowns do I like for fall, let me know what you want to see. I will definitely get it filmed and upload it for you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.